Fingers crossed it works. There we go. Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela. I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and I've done this for so long I've forgotten exactly what I'm doing. It took me 10 minutes just to work out the right button sequence. Right, so the reason for today's live is I haven't had the time to record a Whips, Bits and Chat. So this is not only a Whips, Bits and Chat number 135, oh, help us all. It's also, of course, a cheeky live. Whether we get anybody in or not is, we will only have to wait and see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk normally to the camera as if it was a Whips, Bits and Chat. And later on, fingers crossed, I'll be able to add all the bits I say. Look up here, look up there. Okay, so first up today is our video roundup. Yes, again, it's been quite a slow week. There's only been a couple of videos out because, of course, I'm looking after hubby, helping him out, picking up the slack really from him, because at the moment he's got two hands that aren't quite working, and it's gonna be like that until after Christmas at the easiest. But for any of you that don't know, he was in an accident on his motorbike. We were very lucky. He was sensibly wearing his full kit, and because of that, he's dislocated and broken a finger on one hand, and then on the other hand he's broken fingers, but he's also done a lot of damage to his wrist, which means that his hand at the moment is wired up. So we're waiting for a call from the hospital to go in and get that taken out. Once that's taken out, then he can start on his physio. But the thing is, he's right-handed and it's wired on the right. So yeah, left hand working and doing stuff's a little bit difficult for him, but by the time this is all over, I think he'll be ambidextrous, meaning he'll be able to use both. So that's really cool. Welcome in, Joanne. Have a go. Joe's here. Yay! Someone made it. Someone. Did you get notified, Joe? That's the question. Right, okay, so let's, as I said earlier, Joe, I'm going to do this similar to how I normally do my Whips, Bits and Chats. So, did you manage to catch hold of the video update? That's this bit now. So, I would have so cut that out. Right, so the video update for this week was, there was a new pattern that went into the shop. That is this one here. The what have I called it? I can't even think. The oh my gosh, granny, whatever it was. But that's in the shop. That also has an accompanying video that if you purchase the pattern from the shop, you will get early access to it. If for whatever reason you choose not to, or you're unable to purchase the pattern, don't worry, it will be out live on the channel in January. So everybody's going to get access to it. It just depends on how long you're waiting for it. I'm thinking that, to be honest, most people are knocking out their Christmas stuff at the moment, and that might be something that you'd want to make for you once you've finished it all, which means January, really, doesn't it? The next video that we had come up was the Naughty Fairy. That's the one sitting just there, part 2. So now you've got all the information and the pattern, of course, on the channel for you to copy along and make maybe for your Christmas table. Remember, it doesn't have to be a wine box holder. All you need to do is if you want to just turn it into a standard box, is ignore the front panel, make 2 back panels because they're exactly the same, and then you'll be able to use it to hold something else, either on your Christmas table or pop it underneath your Christmas tree, or use it as a fancy gift wrapping for your presents. And then the last video up was a Fun Day Die Day as well. So some new yarns I dyed, and I can't remember which ones it was without checking, otherwise I'd bring them down off the shelf. The extra little bit of info on the fairy pattern is there is, of course, the written pattern over on Ravelry as well. Right, that's that bit done. What else have I got? I wrote stuff down and I spelt it so wrong. I haven't got the foggy is what I'm going on about. Right, let me see. Joanna said, yes, I did. A morning, Poppy. A morning, darling. Oh, Knitting Purple. A welcome in, darling. And thank you for reminding me what my pattern's called. It's not again Granny. A poncho. There we go. Yeah, purple is definitely on the ball there, Joe. Joanne's yeah, Joanne's saying you're on the ball, knitting purple. At least one of us is this morning. What time is it where you girls are at the moment? I'm thinking purple's in the UK with me, so she'll have finished her second cup of coffee and had her brekkie. But I can't remember what country you are in, Joe. Oh, we've got 6 people in it. No, hold on. I've had 6 views. This is all confusing me. My brain has gone to sleep. So at the moment we have 3 viewers in and 2 of you are having a little chat with me, which is super duper cool. I've nearly finished my coffee. Will my brain wake up? Probably not. I thought you... Yay, so I've got my UK girls in. I wonder if our Aussie girls will sneak in. It depends on if it warns them, because of course Australia's what are we on now? What are we on now? Coming up to 10:15. I'm not sure if they're 9:45 in the evening or minus... Oh, I can't think of the math, but it's back another 3 hours, but plus a day. It's very confusing. Very confusing. Right, so what else have I been up to this week? Well, after doing that big project, it happens every single time I do a big project. I lose my crochet for a couple of weeks. So I've picked up a stupid size hook, a bit smaller than what I'm used to. I've picked up some really boring colours and I've been making something really boring for me. I'll tell you about... I'm getting a head start on next year. Okay, I'll just put it like that. I'm getting a head start on next year, so I'll tell you about that next year. But another thing I did was using up the leftover yarn from this one here. I thought I would make a hat, but my hat didn't work out. I just could not get my head around it. My brain was really shutting down. And so instead I made a headband, or whatever they're called, an ear warmer. I don't know. But I've made it a little bit too big. I'll show you now. It's quite funny. Oh, we've had somebody chat. It's just, see what I mean? It's a little big. But yeah, so I made that. I don't know what I look like. I probably look like a lunatic at the moment. But oh blimey, it does look bad, doesn't it? Yeah, so that's what I made with my leftovers. If I could be bothered to undo it all again, I would actually do it properly. But yeah, I made that and I thought, well, if my brain ain't working to make a simple headband thing or a simple hat, yeah, let's just have a down week. Okay, so welcome in, Sabrina. Sabrina is saying it's the UK chat today. She's knitting, so she's quiet. Hello, everybody. Hello, darling, and welcome in. And Joe is saying hi to Sabrina. So I'm assuming that you girls are all taking 5, hiding from the family in the cupboard under the stairs and knitting or crocheting away. Okay, so yeah, as I was saying, I've chucked it. Now I can't pick it up and show you again. It's really bad. But it was a really simple one of... what was it? A slip chain, making a chain, working backwards and forwards in back loop only. I can't remember if, I think it was half doubles. I'm going to have to go under the table and retrieve it, aren't I? Ninja, welcome in, gorgeous. She's saying hello. I love the way you do that, making me go, hello. Yeah, I just chucked a project over there, Ninja. It's gone behind the table, I can't see it. Right, okay, so if you are a little bit later in, this was basically me trying to do my whips, bits and chat as I would normally do, but minus the cutting it all out. It's not working. I've done the majority of the catch-up bit already. What I would say is there are a couple of patterns, of course, over on the Ravelry shop. The link is in the description box already. So the link is in the description box down below if you want to get your hands on any of the patterns. What else have I got? I think that's about it for trying to flog stuff to you. Of course, if you watch last week's Whips, Bits and Chat, I'm showing you the newer yarns that were created last month, so that if you want to get your hands on any of them, you can have a nose in the description box of that video to see which ones are left. I'm not going to bring them up today because I can't remember the names I gave them and I didn't write them on the on the actual yarns, so I've got to take them off the shelf and put some labels on so I know what I called them, because it turns out I've used 2 different names for a couple of them. So I'm going to go with last week's ones because I've got them attached, the names attached to the photos. So Sabrina is saying that she's going to be recording my package of video this week. Sweet! Because our cheeky Sabrina, she's ordered 2 lots of yarn from me so far. They're all out of, oh, I'm going to spoil it a little bit. They're all out of the same dye batch. So they're from her dye video and then from the Oops videos, if you wanted to have a nose beforehand. But to be honest, I think most of us will just wait for Sabrina's video so that we can see what her reactions are going to be. Have you started working with the first batch yet, Sabrina? Or are you not telling me and you're going to surprise me with photos right at the very end when you're finished? Ooh, Purple is doing the laundry and then she's back to crocheting. She's got 2 40-inch granny squares blankets for somebody. A cripes, girl. And Joanne, sorry, is making the Drops Annabelle slippers ×3. You guys are definitely on your Christmas list of makes, aren't you? And Joanne, sorry babe, I keep doing it to you. It's either I call you have a go or I just go Joe instead of Joanne. He's saying that the yarn is lovely, Sabrina. Oh, she's a tease, that Sabrina. Proper tease. She's telling me I've got to wait. You're just evil in a loving way. And Ninja is making her little man 2 jumpers. Get in there quick and make sure it's 3 sizes up. That boy is growing fast. Oh, Joe's fine. At least that way I know I'm not going to upset you. Which is daft because we probably had this whole conversation about your name, what, 3 months ago? When I last did a live, because we all know what I'm like. For anyone that's watching on the replay, I'm known for picking a bit out of your name, out of your channel name, and shortening your channel name and stuff like that, because I'm rubbish with remembering names, so it's easier for me to just read a part of your channel name and then read your comment, because I like to try and read all of the comments that come through. And guess who's just realised she's got it on top chat, not all chat. That's alright, there was no changes. Whew, that's a bit of luck. Right, okay, so where do we get to? Oh, Sabrina, you're making my head swell, girl. You haven't seen the video that I was going to put out. I don't think I will be. I did an experiment and it didn't quite go to plan. And we're talking really not go to plan. I'll tell you about it in a second, actually. Sabrina was saying, Joanne, yes, and isn't Angela amazing at dyeing yarn? And Joe's brought the Spot and Splat yarn, but she hasn't used it yet. I've only had a couple of people purchase the yarn, so at the moment I'm sort of getting there. I really need to put my list back up so that I know who got what, so I can be sort of more, oh, have you used your Spot and Stripe yet, Joe? Or Sabrina, how's it going with blah blah blah? But I keep forgetting. So the brain is really not in gear. Yeah, so definitely have fun with it once you get playing, Joe, as Sabrina has just said. But that's the thing, you see, I I keep saying to you about the brown haze and how in a couple of months I'm going to start playing with that if nobody purchases it. It's in somebody's hold it till the end of the month for me please pile, so it's now sitting over there in a box. So I'm just going to have to pick one of my other ones to play with instead. And Sabrina is saying she's really enjoying the yarn, Angela. Oh, that is beautiful. How's it? Are you working with it with hook or needles, darling? Because it's really nice to find out whether if somebody like Sabrina, she can do both. Showing off. No, I'm only playing. She can do both knit and crochet, so it's nice to see works come out from people, especially using the yarn that they've purchased from me. I would love to see it, how it looks knitted up as well as how it looks crocheted. I pretty much do the crocheting, which is why I've got that dodgy pair of socks behind me. But they were done in the 4-way. I haven't got round to making a pair of socks in the fingering weight yarn yet. I keep trying on a pair of circular needles to knit them, and I can't get the first and the last to join because there's just not enough give on it. So I'm tempted to just work a flat sock and then seam it together. I've seen something like that, so I'll have to go in and have a look and see if I can find something that's a little bit easier. I'll still be able to do them on the circulars, I think. I'll just have to turn them around each go, won't I? Oh, Sabrina is saying she's knitting with it and it's a wonderful. Is it sliding along the hook as you would, sorry, your needles as you would expect, babe? I need a full right up, girl. Full right up. But that's the thing, as long as it's working and hopefully the pattern's coming out how we both envisage, what's the word? How we want it to. I'll rechange. Envisaged? Yeah. No, I can't be doing with long words today. It's just too early. I can knit them. Okay, so Sabrina's saying you can knit socks on ordinary needles and seam the back. Okay, there is that option. I'm trying to think which ones I'd seen. I'd seen ones that looked like a T, I think. And it was the way they folded it that made it look like a sock. But I might be wrong. I might be getting that confused with something completely different. Joe, you's evil today. Sabrina, Joe's telling you you've got to have your report ready by the end of Christmas. Try knitting socks a toe up. I think that might be another option as well, because of course the pattern that I had tried was worked from the cuff down. Now my mum can knit, she knits socks, but she knits tubular, I think they are, so there's no heel on them, and she only does the knit stitch all the way round, and that's it, because that's the only stitch she can do. So she does the knit stitch and just goes around and round and round and round and round. What does she use? She uses DPNs. Now she had said about 6 months ago that she was giving up, and completely giving up. She's not doing any more knitting because her hands were hurting her. And I was like, right, okay. And then she was like, what do you want for Christmas? I said, oh, I might as well have your knitting needle sets and stuff, because at least then they'll get some use, get some out of your house. And it saves you spending money on stuff this year. Just empty the cupboard and give it to me. I phoned my dad the other day. It turns out she's taken up knitting again, so she doesn't want to share her needles. Joe's also saying she loves a toe-up socks. And Sabrina is saying that the cotton yarn will pop out really nicely, sorry. Sonia, welcome in, darling. She's saying hi, Angela, and all in chat. And Joe's saying you can do either though, Hill too. And then Joe and Sabrina are saying hi to Sonia, and I think Purple will probably say hi in a second as well. They're all trying to create, and I'm making them talk on the chat. I'm being evil. Right, gang, if you could do me a favour, if you haven't already, can you hit that thumbs up? Let's see if we can get YouTube to realise I'm here and notify a couple of other people that we're on. Because I don't know what's going on with this thing, and I can't remember how to do all the analytics and all that, so it's just hit the thumbs, gang. So what projects are you girls working on at the moment that you're up for sharing info on? And while you're jotting that, I'm going to jump up and I'm going to get my disaster. I think it's that one. Yeah. It's not quite disaster. It's just not as how I wanted it to be. Right, I got some of those big jars, and I decided I was going to dye. It started off at 3, then I ended up dyeing 6 hanks of 50/50. So that's 50% acrylic, 50% cotton, and there's 50 grams because it's the 2-ply. Okay, now this doesn't take the dye as easily as the 100% cotton does, and I thought, well, if I can do this little experiment I've got in my head on that, then that's what I'm going to do. So I set up my jars, and what I wanted was a variegated between the jars, so each of them being a bit darker than the one before. Now I've said it like that, it doesn't sound so bad. But I had some green dye left over from my previous set of dyeing videos. And I thought, right, I want to use, because I don't want to waste. And I'm too tight and I squeak when I walk. And moths fly out of my purse type tight. So I had my premix already mixed up and divided it by, I think it was 10, 15, 20 mils, whatever. It's all on a video that's been ready and they could be uploaded, but the effect didn't quite work. And what I've had to do is I've separated it into 3 different hank sets at the moment. There's actually 6 that I did, and one was an extra experiment. And they don't look too bad in today's light, she says. But what I've had to do is I've had to separate them into groups of 3. So with them, the colour change was so gradual that you didn't notice it between hank 1 and 2, or 2 and 3, or 3 and 4. You see where I'm going? But you can notice it between 1 and 3, 1, 3 and 5, and then 2, 4 and 6. So that's why I've separated them. But I'm sitting here now and I'm wondering, do I re-dye? Because I don't know if the change is enough, and it'd be nice to get your opinion. So you're getting a sneaky sneak at hanks. I'm only going to show you hanks, which one are these? I had to write it on the bag. 1, 3 and 5, okay. Yeah, so these are hanks 1, 3 and 5. It's green. I'll tell you that now, it's my green base. And here we go. There is hank number 1. They're going to get bled out because I've got the light on there. Let's just move you over. Okay. Right, so that's quite light. Then we have hank number 2. Just a little bit darker. And hank number 3 at the top, just a bit more darker. It's hard to actually show you on camera like that. Oh, I'm hoping you can make it out. But I'm tempted to actually re-dye them. And that's the whole set of 6. What do you guys think? Oh, I hate that phrase. Hold on, we just got the girls in at the moment. What do you girls think? Should I do a re-dye? Okay, Right, Purple's saying hello with a purple heart. Sonia popped back in with, she's making the sunflower cardigan, jam jar blanket and a poncho. Jo says she's on a scrappy blanket, just got ends to sew in. Oh, she's got 2 cushion comforts and a jumper for her Tunisian shawl. Ends need sewing in. And finally ends in on a Tunisian finger mitts. You're as bad as me. Oh, please tell me it's still working. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Can you still see me, gang? Or have we got a ring of disaster? What is going on? Oh dear. Really bad pause points. Come on. Do this fast forward catch up for me. What is going on? Hopefully you girls can still see me. Oh, pants. Okay, how can I fix? How can I fix? How can I fix? Have I just mucked up my stream?